Here we go. One more recording. This time I am going to complete the collar that was requested, the pink, the one that I was having so much problems with. I finally got it. I've got the leather that's dyed, and I used an edge coat on the side, and I have sheened the front. So, we're back for this matter. This particular collar is going to be one where there's going to be a ring here in the front with a little decorative heart lock, and I will be putting some pink gems on it, three on this side and 3 on the other side. And then the other thing that I will show you is on the back. You'll see that some of the sheen and stuff gets here, and it's a little bit on the rougher side. So what I also do is use this tool, which is I can't even think of the name of it. It's a scratcher. Basically, it pulls up the leather a little bit, and it actually makes it softer at the same time, and it gets rid of some of this stuff too. So, all right, here we go. So the first thing. She wanted it 17 inches. So without the rings, it is just under 17 inches, where I've got it bent already. So let's go ahead and do this. And do this, and we can kind of verify what we're talking about. So this is going to be a little bit, probably need to pull it in just a tad. Alright, so this is how it's going to look right here. I am going to now, I hope you can see this at the angle, I'm doing it on the rubber mat instead of here, because what will happen is if I bang on this one, you'll end up seeing this kind of checkered pattern that's part of this big mat. So I bang it on the rubber in this case, because you won't see it as much. And I'm evening it out right here. Yep, that's perfect. Right where the little strap starts to bend in. Because it's a rubber surface instead of a hard surface, sometimes it takes a few more hits to make it in. So here we go. And these little gems are basically rivets. They've got the peg sticking out, and then there's as I showed you in my previous video, there's a rivet head that goes in, just like the regular rivets. Only difference is, oops, I have to get a piece of leather to keep from cracking the stone. What I end up doing, these things are probably some sort of a plastic rhinestone. They're not real, but they are definitely pretty in their own way. So I bang it here this way. It doesn't mar the surface of the gem. Alright, so we've got this. Let's put this on here. Let's go get our... Alright, that should be fine. She wants 17 inches, so give or take. Let's subtract just a little bit. Let's see how that looks. Should be fine. And one thing that I've learned over doing this, and I still make the mistake constantly, is a lot of times if you don't bend the leather as you're dyeing it, what happens is, because it dries out significantly as part of the dyeing process, and if you don't bend it, what will end up happening is when you start to bend it, like I'm doing here, you get cracks that develop in the leather, and that's just not attractive. So one of the things that I've learned through bitter tears, once again, just like everything else I've done here, mistakes that you make over and over and over again, in this particular case, is making sure that I crease these as I'm dyeing it. That way, I don't get the cracks. If I showed you a bunch of pieces, you'd see cracks on a huge number of pieces. Okay, so now, as I discussed with the customer, I figured basically one stone, there's going to be 3 on each side, which is going to be kind of from the front to the side of the neck, every inch. So basically all I'm going to do here is mark where the second one goes and mark where the third one goes. I'll do the same thing on this side because I'm lining the gem up right on the line. And all I have to do is just punch these holes in. And I can do it on this because it's on the back of the leather, not on the front. And I frequently hit too hard, which is why I've got so many markings on this. But that's the whole purpose. I did a few on the wood once, and boy, I started taking chunks out of the wood. And we've got our 4 holes. And now we'll be doing the same thing. These little rivets are small. That end looks like it's damaged. Probably should have scratched up this back first, but oh well. We can fix it. There we go. Wish that rivet end probably would work just fine, but I'd rather not use it if I don't have to. I hope you're actually enjoying some of these videos just for the sole purpose you kind of understand how some of this stuff happens, how somebody actually does the riveting, etc. We are roughly done. It'll basically look like this. Now, what I'm going to do, as I said before, I'm going to move this out of the way so you can kind of see it. And here's the little lock. It's a pretty little lock. I'm going to scratch may be hard for you to actually see anything. You'll see little threads starting to come off a little bit, but what happens is it makes it a little bit softer. It kind of gives it a... Over here, it's almost like a light sandpaper. Over here, it becomes much more similar to, I don't know, like a peach fuzz. And the whole point is, this is supposed to be comfortable, right? The last thing I want to do is somebody buy one of these things and they tell me that the interior is thoroughly uncomfortable. This is probably not needed when it comes down to it. But, you know, it's all about the little things, right? The little things that make it better. It's a little bit, I can't tell. I'm going to go behind. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. That's it. We are done at this point in time. It's a cute lock, but it's, you know, like a lot of these decorative locks, they're not the most functional. There you go. Hopefully you enjoy.